Welcome to the stream, everybody. I'm going to be grabbing some M&Ms, and then I shall be ready to actually show my face. In the meantime, I will mute the mic in case random background noises occur. Like my phone. And I am back, and I am scooting my chair in. Oh, perfect timing, Fallen Wolf. We just finished streaming on her channel, so... Yeah, she is also somebody I might do something with. We still haven't talked yet about it, though I've been sidetracked, and yeah. Hopefully something after the next few days, because, like I mentioned in my tweets, going on vacation, and also computer issues. And while I'm on vacation, I'm gonna have my computer fixed. So kind of a two birds with one stone situation. Also, I'm not gonna be streaming while I'm at a family reunion. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to start in under a minute. The 4-minute mark will be the intro. I love this music, by the way. So soothing. And recently, oh shoot, I don't want to spoil it though. Something for my own VN that relates to Echo. That's all I'm gonna say about it. Because, oof, I can't spoil it for you. It's gonna be so good in my VN. But yeah, some sort of Echo reference tie-in. Not sure exactly what to call it. Alright, 15 seconds. Oh boy. M&Ms are here. I'm trying to shake them without, like, spilling them. Oh, 8 seconds. 5 seconds. Here we go. 2, 1. Welcome back, everybody. Dirk the Red Panda here with Arches. Yes, we are coming back for this one. Update 2's finally come out, and as I adjust my camera, it is daytime. A shocker. Dirk streaming during the day? Who would have thought? I honestly didn't plan on doing this originally, but luckily, my place that I'm going to repair this computer said they're open till 9 tonight, so I was like, hey, I could get a stream in this afternoon, and then if I have any last minute plans / backing up things, I could do that before I drop off the computer. Try to get it in better sooner than later, just so I don't, like, get too close to the closing time. You know, you always want to be prepared. So, yeah, finally caught a stream for the start. Aw, that's great to hear. Is it Yigit? I'm not sure how the the accent on the G of what exactly that is, because it's not an accent mark, it's more of an unstress. Apologies if I'm not saying it correctly. Yep. Ah. I'll try my best, let me know if I'm getting close. Grove says hi. I love the name. I just saw that. I was like, Eclipse him? Or, what is it? Eclipse him. Well, I can't read. Yay, the theme song from Far Beyond the World and Arches are really good. Oh, I thought you said yay. Yeah, the theme songs from Far Beyond the World and Arches are really good. I agree. Both are awesome. Oh, it's spelled like yeet. Okay, so it is kind of a unstressed G. Yeah. Anyway, hi to everybody. Dragon and Friends, Chris Coon. Chris Kun. It's Chris Coon. Oh, goodness. Chris Kun. Yeah, great to see everybody here. So, yeah, we last left off. We were leaving the hotel, I think. And, yeah, we're trying to escape, I think. I don't know if we are, because Lord knows everything is terrifying here. God, Echo is such a freaking scary place. And there is shirtless. I was about to call him Dean, it's Devin. Two bear characters I play in my novels, and they both start with D. God, D-E actually, holy crap. And also, let me know if the lighting isn't great. I can turn on the lights in here. I'm gonna quickly do that, actually. Much better. Hopefully this balances out. I'm gonna bring that in closer. Oof. Lighting is such a trick here. Luckily I have these lamps. Better? Anyway, so we are still in the hotel, actually. We are going to continue from here. Oh, you just finished live streaming this on your channel, Fallen. Yeah, because I saw that Arches, like the Arches thumbnail you made. And I was like, wait, did you just post it? Like, was it an upload or was it an actual live stream? Yeah, somebody beat me to it. At least great minds think alike. But yeah, always more the merrier with this type of stuff. These novels are fun to play. Anyway, are y'all ready to continue? I think we're definitely gonna have to get into some more of a serious mood. I shouldn't be so bright and cheery when we have one of our characters crying as the continuation mark. So, yeah. Anyway, we'll start at 9 minutes. I always say this to myself just so I can note it. The reading begins. Oh, Dallas Fox asks, how dark is this game? Oh, honey. This game can get pretty dark. Very existential, let me just say that. Thank you, Fawn, for clarifying. Yes! Exactly. Alright, let's start. Here we go. The floor seems to fall out from under Devin, and he feels like he's falling into an abyss. Cameron watches as the motel parking lot disappears into the night. Ah, shoot, it's kind of loud. Which one is it? Holy... Oh no. They're all... None of the channels work! No! This is always a great start. Anyway. I'll try and mute it for y'all, or lower it for y'all. A little bit. There we go. Okay, let's continue. Cameron watches as the motel parking lot disappears into the night. They had left most of their stuff behind in the room, only bringing along what they absolutely needed. Cameron had wanted to take it a bit slower, to think things over before running away like this. But weirdly enough, it was Devin that was ushering him out as quickly as he could. Well, no, it made sense. What was truly weird was how Cameron had felt, and how he still feels now. Despite what had just happened, despite the absolute horror of it all, there's a part of Cameron that still wants to stay. Cameron has to assume that this is nothing like what Dev had seen in his previous investigations. That maybe he also felt that overwhelming feeling of wrongness. But it also feels wrong to just leave after hearing what he had heard. He'd expected Dev to want to stay after Cameron told him about Lupita. It's Lupita, I think. I forgot the name. And if Dev had asked him to stay, Cameron would have done so. If only to search for her better closure after hearing her scream. Despite Dev's calm appearance, Cameron knows that his mind must be in turmoil right now. Now, with the night ending like this, he thinks that maybe he shouldn't have told Dev what he heard. Yeah, he promised to be honest about it, but the hallucination... No, the vision... felt like a lie somehow. A trick. It felt real. It happened. But it also felt like something nefarious was behind it all. He felt it when the wolf focused on him, as if that unseen something had taken the wheel and started steering things where it wanted them to go. Even if he has no idea what that something could be, Cameron hopes that's the case. The alternative is that the afterlife really is only suffering, and that would mean his mother is in the same place. That everyone's going to that place. Cameron squirms in his seat, the feeling of a suffocating dread creeping up under his neck. Drowning forever. Cameron suddenly turns to look at his boyfriend, unable to deal with the awkward silence any longer. Devin? Devin tilts his head slightly in Cameron's direction, brows raised to show he's listening. Yeah, honey? He doesn't take his eyes off the road. Either because it's nighttime, or most likely because of what they just dealt with. The bear is being extra cautious. Still, there's a sense of urgency in this driving. Like he's trying to get out of there as fast as he can. Cameron struggles to find the right words. Hey, let's talk when I get on the freeway, okay? I just gotta focus right now. Cameron can't wait until then. Are we coming back? Cameron sees Dev's brows raise again. This time, in surprise. No, of course not. We're done. I'm an idiot for doing this in the first place. And again, I'm sorry. Cameron can't quash the feeling that he should be the one apologizing right now. But there's a theme park in Peyton called Southwest Adventures. I thought about going there at the end of our investigation, but we could do that tomorrow instead. Dev pauses, apparently waiting for a response. But Cameron can't think of one to give him. I think it could be fun. Cameron is almost certain that's the same word Devin used just before they left to describe how the investigation would feel. Fun. I think we need to come back. We can't just leave things like that. That was just so... fucked. Cameron sees Dev grit his teeth and the coyote feels himself recoil a bit, like he did on the daily basis with Dylan. Sorry, No, you're fine. I'm having trouble seeing the goddamn road. Let's just leave it until I can see where I'm going, okay, hun? The coyote steels himself. He shouldn't ever feel afraid of Devin. He didn't need to. I think we should come back tomorrow. Keep this going like you planned. There's something more to this. And I want to help find out what it is. He says it firmly, in a way that he hopes shows Devin that he's not completely fragile, even if he did break down in the motel room. But Devin is quiet, and Cameron feels himself start to get a little frustrated that he's being ignored. But then the bear responds. No, I don't think so. I'll probably come back, but with another sidekick. I'm not gonna put you through that ever again. Despite knowing Dev meant nothing by that, Cameron feels offended, like Devin doesn't think he's good enough or strong enough to do this. But I want to, especially if you're going to just come back. You think I'm gonna just sit at home knowing you're back out in this hellhole? Listen, Cameron. I've been to a lot of haunted places, but there's something different about this town that feels really off. Fucked, like you said. And I don't want you anywhere near it. Now it's Cameron who grits his teeth. But I want to. Do you still want it? I know you need to find the answers, but after feeling what I felt, I need answers too. Dev's careful maneuvering along the broken road hits a pothole and the interior shakes. Devin winces. Babe, please, let's not talk about... Babe, please, let's talk about this later. I just want to get us to Peyton safely right now. And just like that, Cameron's determination dries up. He hates himself for being such a coward. Things had always felt unequal in their relationship, but it was rare for Dev to just say it out loud, to tell the coyote what's good for him, even though Cameron told him what he wanted. It's nothing like it was with Dylan, but the feeling is similar, and Cameron doesn't like that. Well, what if I don't want you to come back here either? Devin takes a deep breath, but manages to keep calm. Then we can talk about it. When we're safely back home. Cameron goes quiet again. They're halfway past the lake, the body of water looking like a giant, dark pit, except where the moon glitters on its surface. And that's when Cameron sees something out of the corner of his eye. There's something on the road between two craters of broken asphalt. Cameron stares at it for a few seconds. Several, actually. Not sure if he's seeing what he thinks he's seeing. He waits for Devin to say something, wondering if what the hell that is in front of them. But he says nothing, almost like he doesn't see it. Yet, there it is, right in front of them. And it's right where Devin is about to go. And the bear isn't stopping. Cameron manages to jerk himself out of his stunned dazed. Oh my god! Oh, Dev, look! Dev finally looks at Cameron, his eyes off the road, and still the Jeep moves forward. Stop! Why wasn't he stopping? The coyote does the first thing that comes to mind. Time slows down. It's just like what happened back in high school, right before he got hit by a car while skateboarding. He has more time to react now than he did then, though, and he slides his arms across the seatbelt to get free and reaches across the center console. He grabs the wheel, and even though Dev is starting to brake, it's not fast enough, and they're less than 20 feet away from hitting it. The coyote doesn't even think, acting on pure instinct. Cameron turns the wheel to the right, hard. No, turn left into the mountain. Don't drive off the cliff, dumbass. Devin can't comprehend what Cameron's doing before they hit something, and the jolt is far worse than any pothole he'd hit on the road. Devin is thrown into his seatbelt. In the back of his mind, he had been aware that Cameron was half out of his own seatbelt. Driven by what felt like pure reflex, Devin had thrown his arm across the coyote in an attempt to hold him back. Cameron's muzzle meets the bear's thick arm before his forearm smacks into the screen of the head unit. A numbing, tingling feeling explodes across his entire arm. Oh, fuck! Dev brings his arm to his chest, cradling as he winces. Are you alright? Cameron's breathless voice next to him is enough to reassure Dev that the coyote isn't seriously injured. The airbags hadn't even deployed, even though the impact had felt serious. Yeah, my funny bone. What about you? Let me see your face. Dev tries to grab Cameron's muzzle to have a closer look at him. It's hard to see with only the glow of the Jeep's headlights, now dimmed from the swirling dust kicked up by the accident. But Cameron pulls away, opening his door to get out. Cameron, what? The coyote yelps as he seems to lose his footing immediately and falls hard. Cam! Dev unbuckles his seatbelt and almost tries to climb out Cameron's side of the Jeep. Then, realizing what he's doing, opens his own door. Dust coats his mouth and immediately you can still see echo from here. He knew this was going to happen. That something was going to prevent him from getting out. He could feel it since he started driving. He just didn't expect Cameron to be the one to do it. The Jeep is tilted forward, the front wheels wedged into a deep trench carved out by years of flooding along the edge of the road. Dev stumbles around the front of the Jeep, squinting against the headlights before looking down where Cameron had fallen. But he only sees blackness. Cameron! He starts to panic, seriously considering that the coyote could have fallen into a sinkhole. But then... Over here! Dev looks back towards the road, the dust finally clearing, and sees that Cameron is already there, standing in the middle of it, looking around confused like he's lost something. What the fuck are you doing? Dev stumbles back around the Jeep, just wanting to get the coyote back inside so he doesn't go running off somewhere. The bear already suspects that Cameron is having a mental breakdown, and if they don't get the hell out of here soon, Dev thinks he might join him. Wait a minute, is his name, like, fading? It's like Cam, and the RON is, like, faded. Like, it's normal there, but this time it's, like, fading. Is he losing it? I saw someone. Cameron, slow down. Let me see your face. It almost broke my arm. No. I know I did. The E is now faded. Oh my goodness, I'm becoming a conspiracy theorist. Or is it just the shirt and I'm being stupid? Might just be the white shirt. Anyway. Cameron ignores Dev's paws that are reaching out towards him and starts walking up the road, looking back and forth. Cam! The stress of the accident on top of seeing his boyfriend walking back toward the evil town is too much for the bear. He grabs Cameron's arm, forcing him to turn around fully and face. What the hell are you doing? Cameron flinches and raises his arms up, crossing one wrist over the other, covering his face like he thinks Dev is going to. Cameron. What? But the coyote just lowers his arms, looking around again. I saw something. Someone. It was like a little kid sitting in the road. Didn't you see him? Devin just wants to ask why Cameron acted like he was going to hit him. But the coyote is in such a clear distress that the bear isn't sure what to say. Then Cameron looks at the Jeep, as if seeing what had happened for the first time. Shit! I didn't mean to crash your car. I swear I saw someone, and I wouldn't do that on purpose. Cameron's breaths start to become erratic, gasping for air. Honey, come here. I can't. Breathe. Dev wraps his arms around the coyote, even as he starts to try and pull away. Let go. I need to go. Listen, Cameron. Breathe with me. Dev presses the side of Cameron's head to his chest and takes a deep breath. Remember, in and out, slowly. Devin keeps his voice upbeat, his expression cheerful, the complete opposite of what he's actually feeling right now. But showing how distressed he was clearly wasn't helping the situation. So the breathing exercise is also for his benefit. The last time they'd done this was at least a few years ago now. And just like last time, it seems to work. The coyote fighting his gasping for a minute before his breathing becomes a more steady, albeit a little shaky. They breathe in unison for a few minutes, the bear stroking Cameron's head like he had only half an hour ago in the motel room. Was it really only 2 hours ago that he'd been giddy at the thought of a paranormal investigation with his psychic boyfriend? Finally, Cameron pulls away gently. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. You said you thought that you saw someone. I thought I did. I didn't mean to fuck up your car, though. Well, if you thought you saw someone, then I'm glad you did that. Considering how slow we were going, I'd rather the car run into the dirt than run over somebody. Now, just hold still for a second so I can check you out. You face-planted into my forearm pretty hard back there. Dev gently turns Cameron towards the headlights of the still-running car, lightly running his blunt claws through the fur. I thought it was an otter. We all know who that be. I could see his tail and everything. One of Devon's claws grazes over the small lump under Cameron's fur on the bridge of his snout, and the coyote winces. Does that hurt? A little bit. I didn't even notice it until just now. That's probably from my elbow. What about your arm? Are you sure it's alright? Cameron starts doing his own check of Devon's arm. Dude, my arm is Ow! The bear yelps as Cameron prods right into a spot that was suddenly becoming very sore. Did that really hurt that much? Not really. Just surprised me. Really? Yep. See? Bending it without pain. Snap. Yeah, I believe you. Just be careful with it. Cameron sighs, looking back at the Jeep. I'm going crazy. The relief Devon had felt after seeing Cameron returning to his usual, snarky self deflates at those words. What? No, you're not. You're just... We're both on edge right now. Well, it really did feel like I was losing my mind for a minute there. Thanks for helping me. Of course. Now, just gotta check out the damage. As I raise the volume 1 decibel. There we go. Back to normal. I think the... Nope. The music volumes still do not work. Anyway, I just wanted to check out the damage of those preference bars. Yeah. The back wheels aren't even touching the ground. Well, I'll have a better look. Hang tight, babe. All right. Devon starts to analyze the status of his Jeep, and he can tell right away that they aren't going anywhere. Both front wheels are almost buried in the sandy trench below, and both of the back wheels are definitely off the ground, the undercarriage balanced on the road's edge. Still, Dev gets in and, after telling Cam to stand clear, very gently tries to back out. The bear winces at the scraping sounds from the metal undercarriage, realizing how desperate he is to get out of here considering how hopelessly stupid this attempt is. After realizing he's only spinning the wheels deeper into the dirt, he stops. The bear turns off the engine, sighing and pressing his head against the steering wheel. Yeah, it sucked that his Jeep was probably all fucked up now, but he could easily afford another one. First world problems. Oh, man. Anyway. More than anything, he just wanted to be out of Echo. He thinks back on how strange it was that Cameron immediately tried to convince him that he didn't do it on purpose. Sorry, just adjusting the lighting so my head's in the camera still. Devin didn't need to be convinced because he hadn't seen or even considered that was the case. But because of how he brought it up, Devin quickly shuts that down, deciding that now isn't the time for shitty thoughts like that. Finally, the bear gets out, fixing a smile on his face again so Cameron won't feel so bad. Alright, so... Cameron? Dev looks around and, to his dismay, spots the coyotes a ways up the road, toward Echo again, though he's standing off to the side, right next to the lake. He's looking over the edge, down at the water. Hey, Cameron? You alright? The bear jogs up to the coyote, putting an arm around him. You alright? Cameron finally turns to look at the bear. Yeah. Stay next to me, alright? I want you to be close after everything that's happened. I was just trying to stay out of the way. Are you looking for something? Dev looks over the edge at the murky water below. Almost immediately after, the bear instinctively pulls back, taking Cameron with him. Yeah, just thought that because otters are good swimmers that maybe... Cameron lets out a fake laugh. Sorry, I'm crazy. Don't mind me. Oh, come on. Don't do that. Cameron goes quiet. Seeing just how unhappy Cameron is, the bear takes a deep breath, deciding to tell him. Back in the early 2000s, an otter kid drowned in this lake. I wonder if maybe that's who you saw. Really? Yeah, along with a few dozen other people over the last 70 years. I have a list for the lake and other places we were gonna go. So you're saying I saw that because I'm psychic? You don't seem very thrilled with that idea. I'm not thrilled with any of this anymore. It only reminds Dev that Cameron could see anything. Terrible things. And that could lead to more mental anguish for his boyfriend. Anyway, we are stuck pretty badly. What do we do? Don't worry, we got options. We'd want to get to the highway, but it's a bit of a walk. I think about 4 or 5 miles. That might be a bit too much with it being dark on the half-destroyed road. I think we should try to get a little bit of sleep, then start walking at dawn. We'll have light, and if we keep up a good pace, we'll get to the highway before it gets too hot and be able to flag down help. Cameron is quiet. So, what do you think? Remember a while back when I asked what we'd do if there was an emergency? You said, You said there was still cell service in parts of the town.
Did I?
Yeah, Dev. You know what I'm talking about. It makes way more sense to find cell service right next to us and call for help rather than walk 5 miles.
I don't think it makes much sense at all, Cameron.
We were looking for trouble, Devin. I think we'll be fine as long as I'm not trying to see shit.
But you just saw!
It's silent for a few excruciating seconds.
Ugh, God. I just want to get the fuck out of here and get you home!
Cameron's ears twitch as Dev raises his voice, which seems to reverberate in the silence. But the coyote just goes on standing there, arms crossed like they almost always were. Yeah, psychic or not, I'm unstable. We both know that already.
No.
But I'm not walking miles through scorpion and rattlesnake-infested desert when our solution is right there.
Babe, please. I have a bad feeling.
Sorry, who's the psychic here? Dev, I can do this. Trust me. We're outside where nothing's haunted. And we won't be looking for anything. So, I'm going.
Cameron!
I prefer you came with me, though.
God damn it!
Devin hurries to catch up with his boyfriend, sliding his paw into Cameron's and gripping it tightly. Cameron has a look on his face like he's a bit pleased with himself, and Devin can't figure out why. It's like the coyote thinks he's winning some kind of game, and Devin has to grit his teeth so he doesn't start an argument all over again. Just an hour ago, Cameron was sobbing after seeing and hearing terrible things. And now, he's walking back in the same direction like it's nothing. Maybe the coyote is more resilient than the bear had always thought. And maybe the bear is finding out how not resilient he himself is. His stomach growls loudly, and when Cameron jokingly asks if he's hungry, Devin lies and says yes. In reality, it's from anxiety. Something he isn't used to feeling all that often. The bear only finds comfort in gripping Cameron's paw even tighter, promising himself that he won't let anything else bad happen to them. Shit, we are back at the hotel. Cameron presses up tightly against Devin's side, breathing in the comforting scent of his cologne. Cam's false bravado has mostly faded at this point, especially as they're passing the motel. The coyote has to remind himself why it is that he insisted on doing this when Dev had offered a perfectly reasonable, if slightly exhausting alternative. Being exhausted is preferable to PTSD. But Cameron could sense the bear beginning to treat him in a way that he didn't like. Talking to him like he was fragile. Like the slightest touch could tip him over where he'd shatter on asphalt. He wants to prove that he can deal with this. Which is why he has to smirk at himself right now, because he definitely wouldn't have made this far if Dev weren't by his side. Right now, the bear has a steely grip on Cameron's paw, making it clear that he isn't letting go. Meanwhile, their free paws hold their phones, checking every now and then for a signal.
Anything yet?
No. Wouldn't we get the signal at the same time anyway?
Well, I assume I'll get it first.
Oh, because mine's not an android.
Android supremacy.
Oh, God. I'm playing this on a Mac right now.
Yep.
If only I had the brain of an engineer to figure out how to work one. Actually, maybe I should turn mine off and let you search for a signal. We should keep some battery life in one of our phones just in case.
Oh, yeah. Good idea. Your battery would probably die before we found service anyway.
Cameron turns his phone off while Dev looks on.
I wouldn't worry too much about it, though. It's not like we're lost in the woods or something. And I let like 3 people know we were blah 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 blah. And I let like 3 people know where we were going. We're gonna be fine no matter what, babe.
Famous last words if I ever heard them. Right up there with "here goes nothing" and "I think I took too much."
Yeah, right. Our last words are gonna be, "Holy shit, we lived to 100."
And then we go back to Echo. I'm pretty sure I already screwed my chances at that with all the drugs I did. Along with eating fudge cakes for lunch wherever I'm at work.
Seriously, Cam?
Hey, it's in the vending machine right next to my cubicle.
Well, we're changing that as soon as we get back.
How are you gonna do that, aside from stalking me at work?
I'll make your lunch. They're gonna have us start working from home on Monday. Remember? I have plenty of time.
I can't believe this is taking place during the actual pandemic. Like, this is taking place in start of 2020. I was just a wee old junior in college. And I was living my best life. And then it all came crashing down.
Hell, I'll be surprised if they don't start making you work from home soon. We'll be like coworkers.
Ha! Fat chance. They don't give a shit about our health there.
Well, we'll see. Either way, you'll be living to 110. So you'll have plenty of time to think of it. You'll be living to 110, so you'll have plenty of time to think of your famous last words.
Cameron has to wonder if their meandering conversation is purposeful on Dev's part, if only to distract them from what's across the road. Either way, the coyote is thankful for it. Only if you make it there with me. Oh boy, I'm gonna take a break at 49 minutes. We read for a good 40 minutes there, so I just want to take a good break to get some sippy sip of my water. Imagine quarantining in Echo. Oh dear goodness, would I be terrified. The rest of 2020 would have been merciful in comparison to Murder Ghost Town. Honestly, for some people, it feels like the whole country is a murder ghost town for them. Depending on who you are, it's tragic. Sorry, I got too political there. Crap. But yeah. Message retracted. Why didn't you bring a power bank? Amateurs. Frickin' losers. Dude, bring a frickin' power source? This is a joke. Yes, valid. If the town doesn't get you killed before the worst comes out, that is. Oh, wait. Oh, if the town doesn't get you killed before the worst comes out, that is. Yeah. Echo is like the cockroach that is nuclear. It's like a nuclear-bitten cockroach. It won't die, and it's gonna kill anybody in its path. Echo won't kill me. When my phone dies, I die. True that. When the M&Ms run out, I die. This doesn't count for the M&M counter. Still have 0. I'm shocked, actually. Howley is a lot more sparing than Basket or... Who else does ellipses? Wolfstar, of course. He's a lot more sparing than them. Man, I kind of wish someday, though, that I could talk with Hallie again. I only talked with him, like, once on Twitter when I think a copyright strike or something happened with my video. I don't think we've talked since. Yeah. I've always wanted to talk with Hallie, more so just as, like, a fellow writer. Just because I know some of the writers that he works with, and, you know, it would be really cool to, you know... Guitar. Oh my goodness, my brother's guitar just, like, vibrated the floor. But, sorry, what was I saying? Yeah, it'd be, because I do know some of the writers Hallie works with, and it's really cool hearing from them and just kind of getting some interactions with them and just kind of getting to be a part of that kind of, like, VN writers group of people. Being in the FVN server really helps with that. There's a lot of writers and a lot of different people making different types of novels, and I think it's amazing that there's so many different genres being thought about right now. Me, I'm tackling the sports genre, something that hardly has been tackled, other than EA and Tennis Ace. Both end with an A. Oh, shoot, so does mine, Ocean Avenue. Holy crap. Every sports novel must end with an A! It's gotta be 2 words, and the second word must start with an A. That's what it is. Almost thought Hallie was texting you right now as you mentioned him. Wouldn't that have been nice? But I don't want to spam like Hallie. I feel like I want to talk with, like, one of his friends first, because it's like he is very, you know... He isn't, like, somebody that is very open to, like, just accepting friend requests for anybody. Not like I am that much myself, either. So if you don't get accepted by me, I'm also kind of shy, unless it's, like, I've known and talked to you before on, like, a server or something, like, I've known you well enough, but, yeah. EA, Tennis Ace, and Ocean Avenue, all in the same universe confirmed. Well, Ocean Avenue might be in some other universe. Actually, potentially. I'll let you guess. I was involved in writing an event in Crescendo. Oh, Crescendo. And that is why I understand how hard it is to write visual novels. Oh, Crescendo. Man, it's been ages since we've gone to play that. But yeah, fun novel. It's funny because Lawrence and Valimir from Brave Paradise both are the most boastful characters, and it's like one I like a lot, and one I just can't stand, but I still voice him like I'm just having a field day with him. You can guess who's who. I think I made it clear before. But anyway, blah, blah, blah. Are y'all ready to continue? We'll start at 55 minutes. If I can get to this in time. The reading resumes now. I assume 55 minutes just passed. Yep, they just passed. Alrighty then. About 15 minutes later, Cameron starts to become a bit more agitated. They're on a dirt road at this point, and every now and then they walk past crumbling structures of what used to be houses and trailers. You think the cell service stopped working since you read about it?
I don't know. They said it's pretty sporadic.
Who said this exactly?
The paranormal forum peeps.
I hope they're trustworthy.
They are. Or at least they have no reason to lie.
Famous last words. I think the paranormal gives people incentive to lie. Especially if you're not gifted.
Sure, but we're talking about cell phone service, not ghosts.
Could also be a scheme by those crazy locals to lure their victims into town. Not foreshadowing the first event in this novel. Oh no.
You're joking, but I know you're still worried about that. So I'll just point out that it's highly unlikely because that would leave too much of a paper trail.
I'm not that worried. Especially now that we've made it this far. And nothing.
Oh shit!
What?
Damn it! I just had a bar for a split second.
The bear waves the phone around the bear waves the phone around over his head, spinning in a slow circle. What the hell, Dev? You scare me.
Sorry, babe. Anyway, I think it came from this direction.
Dev indicates a rather large grouping of trees off the side of the road that forms a bit of a miniature forest. No, I know where they're going. Nope. Do not go there. No. No. The cell phone service is a lie. Don't go there. No. Please. No. Of course. Why does it have to be the cheapest thing? Of course. Why does it have to be the creepiest thing in sight?
You want to hang back while I check it out?
Two bears chilling in the trailer. 5 feet apart because he's crazy. No.
Is that a question?
Cameron doesn't respond. Instead, sliding his paw into the one Dev's offering, and they start to make their way through the sagebush. Oh, God! Imagine all the ticks we're picking up.
Don't worry, babe. I'll comb through all your fur when we get out of here. Want me to carry you?
I'm fine.
Alright. Just don't think about the tarantulas and scorpions.
You suck so much ass.
Your ass is the only ass I...
Dev grunts in a heavy, bearish way as Cameron wraps his arms around his neck and lifts his feet off the ground, forcing Dev to bridle carry him. Chuckling, Dev carefully makes his way through the rough terrain, while the coyote awkwardly keeps his feet lifted high so they don't brush the sage. Dev finally lowers the coyote near the edge of the forest, and they stand there, looking into the blackness. Cameron can only see the branches outlined against the moonlight, but otherwise, it's almost like looking into a void. The feeling of emptiness is emphasized by the suddenly quiet desert around them.
So, I've got like one bar. Data isn't working.
You know, trees should make it harder to get a signal. I like the reference. You know if you know. Can you make a call?
Well, I can't open my insurance app, so I don't know what the preferred towing companies are. And I'm just sort of realizing that most probably wouldn't come out here anyway, since Flake Road doesn't technically exist anymore.
Flake Road?
Something like that.
I'm sure it's not like that. So we're not getting towed out. And you don't even know the name of the road we crashed on? Are you saying we're stuck here? Like, really stuck?
Well, my Jeep probably is. Not us. The highway is still within walking distance, remember?
I'm such an idiot. I can't believe I got this into this mess.
Hey, I don't give a shit about my Jeep. Besides, I just got an idea.
Dev taps on his phone a few times, then puts it up to his ear, but only for a few seconds before he scowls. They're in danger! Somebody please crop that meme with Devin and Cameron in the bus. What?
Call dropped, but it rang for a sec.
You're so dead. I've killed us!
Oh, stop it, honey. I'll try texting.
Who are you texting?
An old friend of ours.
Who?
Damn it! I swear the bar keeps disappearing every time I try to send. I'll try some different angles.
Dev is hunched over his phone, tapping away. Cameron just sighs, letting Dev do whatever it is he's doing. Despite the bear's wacky attempts, like it's some sort of cartoon. Despite the bear's attempts to placate him, of course Hallie has to put in that word for me in particular. Love you, Hallie. Despite the bear's attempts to placate him, the coyote knows that they both know that this is his fault. And it's my dog's fault for barking in the background. I think he's downstairs. My brother's downstairs, so he should be downstairs with him. I'm a great pet owner. Why don't you just tell me what a stupid idiot piece of shit I am? Cameron doesn't want to admit it, even in his mind. But one thing he liked about Dylan was that he didn't sugarcoat things for the coyote. He'd tell him when he was an idiot, either with words or fists. The coyote turns his attention back to the forest, staring into the dark. Dev doesn't know anything about him and Dylan, and Cameron sure as hell isn't ever going to tell him. Especially that sometimes he was the one to swing first. He always lost, but the few hits he'd land always felt worth it. Oh no, plot twist. Neither of them were downstairs, and that wasn't your dog! What could be down there? Oh no. The voices are coming back! That would be a real treat for you, Dev. Not only is your boyfriend crazy, he's violent too. Does he even know you at all? A chill goes up Cameron's spine. That didn't feel like his own thoughts, even though it came from inside his head. Cameron moves closer to Devin, rubbing his arms.
Oh, just said, damn it!
Devin?
Just a sec, hon. A few already went through. Just gotta confirm some things with him.
The void seems to get bigger. And even though he wants to look away, Cameron can't. He knows he's sensing again, even though he isn't meaning to. Uh-oh. I don't know what it was. That's what really bothers me about it. I think I could handle something like a ghost, but not something like that. So it was just me and my wife, taking a walk through the whole forest like we always did. And then, I don't know, I just got this weird feeling and everything went real quiet.
Shit, is this Duke? Oh no. Oh no.
Then this voice started, a man's voice, but it was kind of eerie, like it wasn't real. Hard to explain, but it was like it was an electronic thing. A machine. It started yelling at us in this sort of playful way, like it was making fun of us, or taunting us. Said things like, "The devil walks beside you," and "I'm taking you to hell." Weird crap like that. It was coming from the tops of the trees, and you could kind of hear it go up and down and come closer, like it was swinging through the branches. And yeah, it scared us, but it didn't make sense. The voice, where it was coming from, what it was saying, none of it made sense. And that's the scary part. So we ran, and then it said some nasty things about my wife. So I picked her up and ran as fast as I could. Later, she told me she saw it over my shoulder, in the trees. Had a hard time explaining it, which I understood because I can't explain it at all. But she said it was a shadow. A shadow person that was moving through the branches. She said light bent in a weird way around its body, like it was encased in a glass globe or something. She hasn't said much else about it. She doesn't like talking about it, and neither do I. I'm only telling you because I feel like there needs to be a record of it somewhere. Just feels wrong to go out of this life without. I don't know. Letting people know that unexplainable stuff happens to a lot of people. And I hope we figure out why. And this might not be important, but I had dreams afterwards where I'd be in the forest, and this shadow creature would come prowling out in the open. And then sounds would come from where its mouth would be. I'd hear a young man screaming for help, all distorted like it was recorded on a tape. And then there be this high-pitched laughter. Shit! Did you hear that?
That laugh. Yeah, it sounded like a drunk dude far away. You screaming is what made me scream.
It was like a cackle, like a cartoon witch or something. It was right next to us. I've heard it before.
Well, I wouldn't say it was like a witch. It was kind of high-pitched, I guess. But again, it was kind of distant.
I think we should go.
Why? I think it's just like a drunk hick or something. God, I'm almost done messaging Artie.
Something bangs like a screen door swinging closed, And not very far away.
Who's that squealing? That you, Duke? Got your 12 gauge right here that will make you squeal twice as loud as you snooping around my property again!
It's Brian! Fuck! Dev's voice drops to a whisper.
Oh, holy shit.
Then, before Cam can fully absorb exactly what's happening, Dev is pulling him along, running full tilt through the sagebush, toward the road and back toward Lake Emma. Oh, we are gonna die. Ah! Oh, you missed the first part of this story, Magram. Reference the first episode. Devin's feet ache from the plethora of rocks he trampled on, the tough pads on the undersides feeling almost torn up from the rough terrain. He's thankful, though, if only for the fact that he hadn't run himself and Cameron into a cactus. Dev? Cameron's voice jerks with every running step.
We're almost there.
Dev huffs and puffs for air, not aware... Dev huffs and puffs for air, now aware that he's a bit out... I can't read. Dev huffs and puffs for air, now aware that he's a bit more out of shape than he realized. He hadn't run in earnest for at least a few years. Sounds like me when it comes to weightlifting. Dev, we're out of the town. The bear slows down now that his stuck jeep is in sight, and he sets Cameron down on his feet before doubling over to rest his paws on his knees, wheezing.
Fuck, give me a minute.
Jesus. Are you okay? It sounds like you're dying.
Dev! My fucking thigh is cramping like a motherfucker! Holy shit!
Dev's large rear hits the ground with a thump as he reaches down to massage the back of his thigh. And honestly, my head just got dizzy there from all that. I need some water. Oh, goodness. I don't want to get too dizzy. Otherwise, I'll cramp. Oh, thank God.
For what?
Lay on your back. Before Devin can even follow the directions, Cameron takes the bear's right leg and slowly lifts it up, making Dev spasm as the cramping muscle is slowly stretched out.
Oh, fuck. This is what I get for not running since, like, college.
Cam gently rocks the leg back and forth. Mm-hmm. You've ran since then. Remember that stupid company triathlon thing we did when you carried me on your back and ran across a soccer field? Despite the light conversation, Cam keeps looking over his shoulder towards the town, just waiting for a mob of hillbillies to come raging up the road. Who would win? A mob of hillbillies or Brian? Honestly, it'd be a close one. Man, I told you, Dev. The people here are psycho. Dev grunts as Cameron stretches his leg back again.
I think he wasn't being serious, but yeah, you were right. All the more reason to get the fuck out of here. Dev finally pulls his foot back, gingerly getting to his feet while continually
while continuing to rub at his thigh.
I've never had a cramp so painful. I guess I'm getting old.
That's how I felt when I had my first back spasm. Take it easy next time. You were more scared than I was. You said yourself he was just a drunk hick.
That's what they all say about him. You forgot the part where he's got a shotgun.
Yeah, I'd be more surprised if he didn't have one. Do you think he's gonna come looking for us? We're not hard to find out here.
Sounded like he thought you were some other hick. I think we're fine.
I suppose you can put a trailer trash in the same category as hicks, so that makes sense.
We can keep an eye out for right now, though, just in case.
So, who are you texting?
Artie from college. He just happened to be up and he's still living in Mesa. Said he'd drive out right away. So, he could be here in like 3 hours.
Huh. Why Artie, though?
I don't know. He was at the top of my contacts list, because it started with an A. And I knew he still lived in the state, so I gave it a shot.
He can give us a ride at least, I guess.
He's got one of those massive trucks, so he might be able to pull us out. His last message said he'd be here in like 3 hours or less.
Well, I guess that's not bad. As long as we're out here by morning. I don't want you to get caught out here in the heat of all... I don't want you getting caught out in the heat all day.
We got a shit ton of water. And if I need to cool down...
Devin waves his paw at the lake. I wouldn't touch that if I were you. Cameron stares at the lake, seeming to think, then looks back at Dev. Listen, while we're in the forest, I don't know. I didn't see anything, but I think I did some light touch sensing the right way. Now it's Dev who finds himself becoming upset.
What? Why would you do that?
Well, it kind of just happened. And I made sure not to interact or anything. And it was just fine. At least for the most part. What I heard was creepy.
Okay. Well, now I'm gonna tell you to be careful again. Because I don't want you going through what happened in the motel ever again.
Well, like I said, I couldn't exactly help it. Anyway, do you know about a shadow person in the forest that spoke with a distorted electronic voice? Devin is caught off guard. He knows Cameron is trying to take the focus off the fact that he's still messing around with the supernatural in a dangerously supernatural place. But he also knows exactly what Cameron is referring to. The chapter in Haunted Echo titled Entities of Static described exactly that, and in the thick of trying to figure out who to call, he hadn't realized that was the forest. Dev's surprise must be pretty obvious as Cameron grins. No way, am I right? Cameron's suddenly joyous reaction surprises the bear.
Well, yeah, you're right.
Can you believe this? Sorry, I don't know why I'm so happy. There's a fucking reason for me being the way I am. I can't deny it anymore. It's hard to explain, but that kind of changes my entire life. Cam's bottom lip trembles with emotion, and Dev shakes off his feelings of unease, drawing him into a hug.
Come here. I know what you mean, baby. Well, I don't personally know, but I've wanted you to feel that way for a long time. I'm really happy for you.
I feel like I can do something. I don't know, but maybe even help people with this. Cameron's voice is muffled against Dev's chest.
Oh, sure. Of course. Let's just find a better place than here, okay?
Dev nuzzles Cameron reassuringly, but the coyote doesn't answer, and even though that bothers the bear, he doesn't press the issue, just wanting Cameron to feel happy for now. Okay, I'm gonna take another break here if y'all are cool with that. I am getting a bit hungry. We stop at 1:21:30. I'm going the wrong way. I should probably get a snack. That'd be an interesting plot twist, Tiger's Tail. What's worse, leaving Echo without your sanity, or dying in Echo? I would say dying in Echo would be worse because of just... I wonder how painful it would be while dying. Because death is unknowable. It can hurt. Now it makes me wonder. I heard Arches doesn't follow any of the routes, so we don't know the details of what happened during Echo. Okay. I could see that. I mean, I don't know how to confirm or deny that, but I could totally see that being a thing. I'm not as active in the Echo server. Sadly, but I do get updates from them. Yeah, both are indeed horrible. Hopefully this is the last leg of it, because normally Arches doesn't go too long with its updates. I think it's about 2 hours, like the last one. But yeah, luckily the Echo Project updates tend to be within 2, maybe 2.5 hours, 3 max. Sometimes shorter, like an hour and a half. So, yeah. I'll continue on. Cameron sits in the oh, fudge muffins. Fudge muffins. I need to start the time again. The reading resumes in less than 10 seconds. 5 seconds. Oh goodness, it's so hot in here. Alright, let's continue. Cameron sits in the trunk of his Jeep. Legs hanging... Or no, wait, it's not his Jeep. Cameron sits in the trunk of the Jeep. Legs hanging out over the edge, dangling towards the ground that's further away than usual due to the tilt. He rests his back against the back seats, the angle providing a pleasant recline. Meanwhile, he fiddles with his old acoustic guitar that had been stashed in the Jeep for at least a year now, tuning it slowly. He hadn't even remembered it was there until they'd folded down the seats for a place to try and sleep. He last played it at Devon's parents' house because they wanted to hear him play, and he just left it there in the Jeep afterwards. He hadn't had a reason to play it since. The rest of the night, or early morning, hadn't been terrible. Dev was easily comfortable. The hard surface not all that different from his side of the mattress, which was rock hard compared to Cameron's much squishier foam. He had tossed and turned until Dev finally pulled him in to lay his head on the bear's stomach. The soft, warm surface enough to lull Cameron into a dozing state of consciousness while Dev snored loudly. He'd gotten used to the snoring after all those years, and now found it comforting rather than annoying. It was a good night, considering the circumstances. Dev had been unsure about sleeping in the tilted Jeep at all because it gave him a bad feeling. He'd also had a bad feeling about Cameron going back to the motel with him, so he left them here alone while the bear gathered up the rest of the stuff. 5 hours had passed since Artie texted Devon, so the bear had been getting antsy about that as well. It had a bit of an arrangement, and Cameron only agreed to stay behind when Devon promised not to go back to that forest to text Artie again. Now Cameron sits here moping, feeling of a lopsided relationship returning. I suck at guitar. He mumbles to himself quietly out of habit, knowing people didn't like hearing it since he was good enough, which had been his goal. All of his singer-songwriter idols played guitar, and he wanted to be just like them. He forced himself to learn how to become good enough, with all the awkward fingerings, the constant tuning, and the pain of holding down steel strings with his finger pads, even after he built up calluses. That's how he described guitar in general. A pain. He preferred the piano, and that's where he used to write all of his music. But the devastating sad men of the 90s Northwest indie music scene didn't play piano. They played guitar, because they were also rugged and tough, molded by the logging towns they originated from. It turns out that one's image is just as important in indie as it is in pop, despite the former trying to convince itself it isn't. So Cameron had tried to conform to that, and in the end, it hadn't mattered. The hours and hours dedicated to learning the instrument through high school and college now felt wasted. Still, the feeling of the instrument is familiar in his paws, even if his fingers are already getting sore. He tries to think of one of his less embarrassing songs. One of the ones where he wasn't just wearing the influence of cloudy, dreary northwestern cities on his sleeve, even though that's where he was from. He tried and failed to duplicate their poetic and opaque lyricism. Instead, he found himself slipping back again and again to the style of his own generation. While his idols of the 90s wove lyrics that forced the listener to delve into something complex, to find something meaning in the metaphors and symbolism, singer-songwriters born in the 90s, like himself, presented their lyrics in a more literal, honest way that often describes specific situations with seemingly nothing hidden. To Cameron, it was two sides of the same coin. Instead of discovering meaning in complexity, it was about discovering complexity in simplicity. He sighs, deciding it was tuned well enough. He glances up, making sure Dev isn't heading back before playing. He was badly out of practice, but he starts to slowly warm up. Cameron sings quietly, under his breath. This particular song got the attention of an independent label on the West Coast after one of their scouts heard it on the college radio station. They'd signed him in his junior year of college. Looking back, it was the high point of his life. Dev had celebrated in earnest, happily telling him that he'd make more money than he himself ever would. But what Cameron didn't realize was that even after being signed, he could still be dropped without releasing any of his music, and after what was probably the lowest point in his life, they did just that. Dropped over text message with his agent saying the demos he'd made in studio weren't up to their quality standard. That hurt. A lot. But he knew it was true. He'd been nervous the entire time, and his output wasn't even close to what he was capable of. Though he tried to comfort himself with the idea that most musicians went it alone these days, his own postings on the internet barely got more than a few dozen listens. Then, he finally realized that he was in it for the wrong reason. His peers just liked playing music, throwing stuff out into the ether whether anyone heard it or not. The ether, sorry. Cameron needed an audience to stay motivated. To be famous, so, in a way. I fucking deserved it. At least Devin never brought it up. Cameron stops playing, having seen brownish fur out of the corner of his eye. He thinks it's Dev and immediately feels his face flush, freezing and just sitting there. This is why he didn't play or sing in a serious way these days. Now it just feels like showing off a skill that he was never really skilled at in the first place. But after a while, he doesn't hear anything. No voice, no footsteps. And biting through his embarrassment, Cam looks up the road where he'd been certain that his boyfriend had been watching him. Dev? The silence is heavy and thick. I've just got this weird feeling and everything went real quiet. Cameron stares up at the empty road, the feeling of unease growing until he finally shoves his guitar to the side and pulls out his phone, tapping on a mindless gaming app to distract himself. Nope. Not doing this again. Not right now. And even though the road remains empty, and even though the sun shines brightly above, illuminating everything around him, the feeling of what is becoming a so familiar dread continues to grow. Then that light shining down on everything changes, shifting to a more golden glow. What the hell's going on? Cameron had a few bad trips in the past, shrooms being the worst, and that was what gave him his first panic attack. In a strange way, this feels very similar. Please, not now. I have control, and I'm saying not now. No. Control. Shit! That voice, well, that feeling, it instinctively made all the fur on the back of his neck stand up. Dev, come back, please! Please, now! Cameron starts walking up the road, toward Echo just under a mile away. The panic creeps up his neck like he's drowning. Until last night, he hadn't had a panic attack in over 2 years. Now, it's like his brain has relearned the spiraling process of gasping for air that's readily available, but still feels out of reach. He fights the urge, counting, trying to remember the pace of Dev's steady breaths. Hadn't he wanted to reject the idea that he needed Dev to face his fears? Doesn't he know how to handle this? How to do it safely? Cameron also knows that running into Dev will only make things worse for his boyfriend. Did he want to stress him out even more? The coyote stops, then turns around slowly. Just like that, the feelings of panic and terror slowly fade away to be replaced by a feeling of purpose. Something solid. Something resolute in its existence. Something that's already happened. Nothing can be done to change it. A feeling of acceptance. Aww. Cameron's walk slows to a more measured pace, mirroring someone just outside his view. In another place. No, in this same exact place. Just in a different time. Cameron knows what's happening, and he questions what he's about to do. But with this new feeling of calm assuredness, the coyote decides to let it happen. Dev didn't want him doing this because he's had a change of heart. But so is Cameron, and this is his own choice to make. So he lets it happen. And he senses this person. A girl. A feline. It's Blythe! It's gonna be Blythe. Walking just like him. Years and years ago. She tries to keep her sobs quiet, walking along the road by the lake. She'd been looking forward to this for 2 months. She'd saved up money for babysitting jobs to buy her own dress, her own fake jewelry, and her makeup. So definitely not Blythe. I don't think Blythe would babysit anybody. Nor would I trust her to babysit anybody. Her father had found the makeup a week ago and threw it away, telling her only bad things happened to girls who wore makeup. Even then, she'd still had the dance to look forward to. But now James, her ex from last year, had ruined it. He'd shown up drunk, proposed to her, then cussed out her new boyfriend, who she'd only been seen for a month now, until he left. It's Heather. Oh, I forgot who Heather was. Oh. At least now she's glad she didn't have the makeup on and how wet her eyes are. This hadn't been the last dance of the year at Echo High, and she was worried she was going to graduate with no boyfriend at all, and no money to go anywhere. Lost in her thoughts, she notices fast, pounding footsteps only seconds before it happens. Before it happens. She sees James as it happens. She realizes what's happening in this same moment. Knowing him, this is actually something she expected. And in that moment, she decides that maybe this is for the best. Cameron? Lost in the vision, Cameron feels himself recoil from something touching him. Cameron loses his balance, windmilling his arms comically, and he has a split second to recognize Dev. The bear has his paw out, like he's been resting it on the coyote's arm. The look of shock is mirrored on his boyfriend's face before he goes over the edge and straight into the lake.
Cameron!
The coyote expects to go under and stay under, just like the girl from Echo High School. But a jolt goes through his body as he lands as a... But a jolt goes through his body as his ass lands hard on the rocky surface of the lake just a few feet below the surface. And Cameron yelps loudly.
Fuck!
Cameron looks up to see Dev getting ready to jump in. I'm fine. At first, Cameron is just embarrassed, like he got caught doing something he shouldn't, which is sort of the case, at least in Dev's mind. It's not as deep as it used to be.
What?
As he climbs out with Dev's help, though, that embarrassment changes to anger. The coyote grunts and snarls quietly as he automatically starts stripping off his clothes, his plaid shirt and jeans sticking to him in the most annoying way. Dev hovers over him, trying to help, but mostly getting in the way. Dev, you have a list of people who died in the lake, right?
What? What are you talking about? You just fell into the lake! Stop talking about this shitty town and let me make sure you're...
Oh, that's real rich coming from you. I've been saying that to you for the past 5 years, and yet here we are. So no, I won't stop. Give me the list, or I'll just look it up myself. Dev glares, making himself look big. But Cameron doesn't budge, even though in that moment he realizes his phone just got wet. And he can only hope that that's still going to work after this. After a few seconds, the bear deflates.
Please. I just want to be out of here. I'll do whatever you want afterwards. Let's just go home first.
That cools Cameron's outrage for the time being, never having seen Dev look so... defeated? You will go home, and I'm sorry I'm being like this, but you have to understand that this is changing everything for me, and I just need this for a little bit, okay?
Okay, but I'm not leaving your side until we're out of this town. Okay?
Didn't I tell you this was a bad idea at the very start? Cameron tries to lighten the mood a bit, not liking the conflicts they were having on this little trip. They hardly had any before coming here. Now they have such different ideas of what they should be doing. It's like they're at tug of war. Dev takes out his phone, bringing up the document he'd been using to map out the supernatural happenings and history of Echo. So, it was a girl. Teenager. A bobcat from, like, the 50s, I think? A student from Echo High School. Dev raises his brows, scrolling slowly through his phone. Then, he looks back up.
Yeah. June, 1954. A bobcat drowns after committing suicide by jumping in the lake, reportedly after an argument with her ex-boyfriend.
So that fucker got away with it?
Who? How does your tail feel? Who? How does your tail feel, by the way?
Dev is running his paw along his tail, feeling out the vertebrae. Cameron finds the bear's disinterest in all of this more and more irritating, especially now that he's found what he feels like is his purpose. He can help somehow. Dev hits a bruised spot on his tail, and the coyote yelps before shoving his paw away. Ow! Not now. Now, Dev, listen. Her boyfriend killed her. I saw him run up and push her into the lake.
Did you have to experience that? Do you feel okay?
Dev, I'm not important here. This is about someone who got murdered and some piece of shit who got away with it.
First of all, don't call yourself unimportant. You're still alive, and you need to keep it that way by not falling into lakes because of those awful visions.
I need to tell her family, or at least someone, so people know the truth.
Dev frowns deeply at the coyote. Listen, babe. I know you can see things that I can't and all, but I gotta be honest and say that no one's gonna care. They're dead. The girlfriend is more than likely her ex too.
That's short-sighted as all hell, Dev. He could definitely still be alive, having lived a full life after murdering someone. And she might well have siblings who are still alive, or... I don't know. I think someone probably gives enough of a shit about her to want to know.
And then... what? You go up to them and tell them you're psychic and had a vision of their loved one dying? Besides, I think they probably all know what happened. There just wasn't enough evidence.
Cameron feels his face get hot, glaring at the asphalt. You wanted me to do this, and you wanted answers. Why are you holding me back now?
Because I'm terrified right now. Of this town. Of the ghosts. Of you getting hurt somehow because of the rate things are going. That's probably going to be... God, that's what's probably going to happen. I want to know where Lupita is. But she died because I made stupid mistakes. I can't have the same thing happen to you.
Cameron's face gets hot again as he realizes Dev is about to cry, and his resolve wavers. He starts to step forward, to hold Dev like the bear had held the coyote so many times. But then... the two of them look up at the road to see a rather small sedan pulling up the road, a figure inside waving enthusiastically through the shield.
What the hell? Where's his truck?
Oh, he looks so nice! Panther dude.
Devin, Cameron. Sorry I'm late. Had trouble finding the road. Then I had trouble driving on it. Did I catch you two in the middle of Where the hell is your truck? Huh? Look at my Jeep. I told you it was stuck, man.
Well,
this is not the reunion I was expecting. I thought you just wanted to ride. Besides, even if I pulled you out, your Jeep's fucked. I can tell from here.
be nice, Dev. He's doing us a favor.
Hey, Cam.
Hey, Artie. I fell in the lake, so that's why I'm half naked right now.
Oh, that's hilarious. Did you push him in, Tevin? Already makes me feel like I'm back in college. Oh my god. Hey, are you guys ghost hunting? Can I join in before we head out? Nope. Why not? Because we're done.
Dev, we can probably walk around a little bit before we go. He went on a really long drive.
What?
Dev sounds incredulous, and Cameron can understand why. But despite what the bear said moments ago, he still wants to explore further. Cameron knows that once he leaves, he'll probably never come back to this place again. Damn, Dev. Did the two of you switch places or something?
Anyway, I agree with Cam. I gotta stretch my legs out a bit.
Dev looks down at Cameron, apparently at a loss for words. Cameron can't meet his gaze, so he looks down at the road, towards Echo, towards the place that he's positive has more answers to all his questions. He needs this. To be continued. 150.5. This is where we end it. Well, that was a decent update. I'm gonna write that in the timestamp. We have finished. Wait. Oh, 150.30. I was like, why did I say 15? I'm losing my mind, everybody. I'm sorry. Alright, that is Arches. Update 2, actually. Or 0.2, whatever you want to call it. So, yeah, I'm hoping Artur doesn't die. I'm nervous for them all. Something's bound to happen. And I'm worried. But at least there's a third person to help things be safe. Oh, Mogram. To lose one mind in Echo's tradition. Aw, thank you so much, Mogram. The chat's gonna come up and say it in a second.
Super chat.
It's work. We're working on it. But yeah, Mogram donated $13.13, saying to lose one mind in Echo's tradition. Thank you so much, Mogram. Really appreciate it, and yes, thank you for helping the channel grow and just my creative works grow to then in turn help the channel and my other stuff. It's a circle of life. Everything goes in circles like an Echo. But yeah, really nice of you to do. I also heard there's this new feature called applausing that you can do, so I think you can donate even if the stream is not live, so you can like donate afterwards if you want. I don't know if anybody's tried that out, but feel free to try it out. Let me know how it works. Only if you can donate, though. This isn't me saying do it or else. Nah, but yeah. Yeah, this update got pretty darn serious, though, and I had some scares there for a bit. Like, oh shit, somebody's gonna kill us. Thank God Brian did not appear. But I am going to now go to the list of patrons. I'm gonna turn that off. This is, I think I checked it as of yesterday or the day before, but these are my current list of patrons. These are the people that help fund my creative work, such as my channel, my visual novel, yeah, and just various expenses for that creative work. And so there are also some great perks with being a dork, which include exclusive not safe for work readings, early access to my visual novel Ocean Avenue 7 days before the public release, and various exclusive posts such as polls or even potentially early sketches or whatnot for Ocean Avenue. So all of that. Anyway, I will list off the patrons, starting off with my fellow dorks. The $3 and above tier, North Grizz, Andrew Corona, Mogram Wolfram, Type A Roth, Ryan Atkins, Ryan Carlos, Neil, Crunchy Balls, Tagarin, Andrew Buenaventura, and Kiam Otter. Now, I want to give a very special thanks to my exclusive dorks, my $10 and above tier, Fire Knight 2008. So if you want to support me on Patreon, feel free to do so, and you can choose whether or not you can choose to opt out of having your name shown if you do not feel comfortable or anything like that too. That is always an option. I won't mention you or say that there's another patron or patrons or whatever. So, you know, it's always optional to do this, so whether you like to donate and have your name shown or not, completely up to you. Anyway, we're back. So, that is all I have for today. I'm starting to get hungry, and I might do an early dinner because I gotta start packing for my trip tomorrow. And I gotta also turn in my computer to have it repaired. So, that is all I have for today. So, I want to thank everyone so much for watching. And until next time, take care, guys.